Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast here in Liverpool for the press conference ahead of Liam Smith and Anthony Fowler this weekend, joined by Miss GB herself, Tasha Jonas. Now, I'm praying this camera don't break because we tried to do an interview at Fight Camp and it was, this is not take two, this is take 100.
100%, yeah. Let's just hope it lasts. If it goes off once, we're not doing it. It's not.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me start again. Joking. Right. Miss GB, when was the last time you fought in Liverpool? Because obviously you had what? Manchester was Katie Taylor, the Matchroom Square Garden as they call it. But yeah, back where you belong.
Yeah, home, sweet home. It's been a while, I think 2019, on the Carn La Greco. That's how long ago?
I think that was 2018. So I think we're talking 3 years since you fought in your home city, yeah.
It's a long time. To be fair, this will be my first fight in front of a crowd for 2 years. So I haven't fought in front of a crowd for just as long. So to be a home crowd and obviously to be in a fighting town a fighting city like Liverpool in front of probably, arguably, some of the best fans, boxing fans, on a great night, to be on the undercard of a great fight, it'll be good.
It's kind of weird because obviously you had such a good amateur career and then you haven't fought with fans for 2 years. That's kind of not what you signed up for, because a lot of the amateurs is fighting without like a lively crowd, isn't it? So it's kind of not what you signed up for. Has it been a bit of, I know you've had big fights in them 2 years. Has it almost been like I said, not what you signed up for in a way? Yeah,
but at the time I've just been grateful for the opportunities that I got, because not everyone was getting any, especially in the the first lockdown. And I was supposed to fight Terry Harper in the May, and then obviously lockdown happened, and that didn't happen. I was supposed to fight it in the March, and it didn't happen. So I was panicking, financially wise. I've got a home and a baby to look after when I was going to get the opportunity, and if I was going to get the opportunity again, luckily I got it in the April. So I wasn't even thinking about the fans. I was just happy to get the opportunity, to be honest.
And obviously, like I said, a couple of big fights during that time. The defeat as well to Katie Taylor. Sort of, how do you reflect on that time? Because you've had, like I said, you've had such a good amateur career. You start your professional career, and when you have a big night and a defeat, I don't know, is that kind of hard to take when you're used to such high levels of success?
No, not really. The difference between now and amateur is you've got more time to bask in your loss. Amateur, the next week you're in another tournament, going to another country and competing again. So yeah, you've just got more time to think about it, but then you've also got more time to make yourself better. And think every time I do fight now, I'm always looking to improve myself in some way, and I don't actually think I did that much wrong for the Katie fight. It was just that she won. So yeah, and again, I've come back for this camp and I've worked on myself, and I'll be better.
Is that sort of why just getting a win is so important, almost no matter how it comes? I know you want to look good and you will look good doing it, but is it just sort of important to just get a win and get things rolling again, because we know exactly what you want out of the programme? You want to become a world champion.
Yeah, I just want to be active. At my age, you can't afford. Terry Harper was 10 months out. The Katie Taylor was another 9 months out, and I can't afford to keep having these long spells of not being active. So I want to, get a gear of being as active as I can and see where it takes me.
So you don't look a day over 30, Tash, so I wouldn't worry about it. I just want to address something that I saw actually. I saw an article that said on Twitter that said you sent a message to Anthony Joshua. And obviously, like I said, you've had to deal with a defeat in the pros. Anthony's just coming off a defeat. I just want to talk about that because I saw you sent Anthony a message after obviously his defeat a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it's just important. There's loads of boxers that I've sent messages to after they've had the defeat.
Is that when they need it most as well?
I think so. I think I'm not sure which boxer it was, but I remember he said when he was winning, he got 3,000 calls and 2,000 messages, and then when he lost, he had 3. His mum and an unknown number. And I think that sometimes is the dark side of the sport that fans and people who don't participate in it don't see, and sometimes it is a very, very lonely sport, and you can feel isolated and on your own, and I think it's important to let other athletes know that you're here and you need to talk, that other people have got your back and know where you've been and been in the same situation.
And in terms of the rematch, and obviously, we've only just basically got over the fact that oh yeah, true. Yeah. All right, I'll take the word rematch out. We'll talk about talk about something else. Let's talk about Wilder Fury instead. Because will the saga finally end? Because I've got to ask everyone. It's obviously massive, sort of the thing on everyone's lips this week. Wilder Fury, talk to me. Or Fury Wilder, talk to me.
Yeah, I can't see it being any different. Wait. I'm going to reverse that. I'm not saying I can't see it, because there's lots of outcomes that can happen in boxing, and especially with Wilder having such, you know, he's got such power, and you don't know where the shots are coming from, so it's hard to predict. But for me personally, I think it's the same outcome, and I want it to be the same outcome, so then we can both progress. They can both progress, and Dillian White gets his shot. Eventually Usyk and maybe to Joshua. There's lots of things that can happen then in the heavyweight division, but I think this kind of chapter of Fury Wilder needs to be closed. Yeah, there needs to be closing, because, to be honest, I don't even think many people wanted to see the three, if I'm honest. So to have it possibly being a fourth, or continuing on past this fight, I think is just dire, if I'm honest.
Are we just kind of not unlucky with the heavyweights, but it seems like nothing ever pans out how you want it to? Like, Fury Joshua was going to be made, and then we had the court case, and then obviously Joshua loses, which sets it back as well, and now Dillian's in the fold, but he's got a big fight. It's almost like the heavyweights in this last couple of years, you just don't get what you want. I just think that can happen in any weight division. That's just boxing. I've sat there in tournaments on GB, and I've worked out where I am, worked out where the biggest threat is, and you kind of, she wins and she loses, she beats her, and then by the time it comes to you versus that person, it's not the person you thought it was, because someone else has got beat down the line. So that just happens, and I think, yeah, it's just boxing's just one of them things where anything can happen. We're just being unfortunate, and it was probably written in the stars that Fury and Joshua fight that everybody wants to see. Something was going to go wrong, and unfortunately for Josh, it was his loss to Yusuf. The boxing god's taking the piss out of us. Anyway, Tash, thank you very much for your time. This one worked, so we're all good. And see you on Saturday night.
Yeah, nice one, thank you.